Let's talk about the built environment next. We're going to include the petal on tools and technology because these two petals are very interrelated. They include everything that humankind builds, buildings, other infrastructure like roads, and tools and technology would be things like computers and hand tools. The permaculture approach to these subjects is an effort to reduce waste and energy use while increasing yield and quality of life. We look at a building, for instance, as not just being a black hole of expenses, but something that, if designed right, can provide more than just shelter. It can provide its own energy, water catchment, and other services to the landscape and to humans. It can be integrated with the landscape in a way that adds more quality of life while supporting food and water security and wildlife. Integration is a core principle of permaculture. How can we integrate elements rather than segregate them? There are many ways this can be done in a landscape. This is called Regen Village. It's a concept right now, but they're planning to build it in the Netherlands. It's not permaculture, but it has some of the elements. It's off-grid. It produces its own food, water, and energy year-round. In a cold climate, these greenhouse structures around a home can greatly reduce energy needs while providing fresh food year-round. In the common areas, there are fruit trees and more food. Sheep are used to keep the lawn trimmed. People walk or bicycle in the village, with cars kept in their own area. They're incorporating some regenerative tools and technology by recycling organic waste, including human waste, into a resource on site. In our courses, we teach you to do all of this for yourself, and it isn't difficult. I believe every new development should have all of the elements this one does and more. This will happen when there's sufficient demand for it, and that will happen to the degree that those of us who prefer this lifestyle speak up about it and spread the word and demand regenerative housing. There are many interesting ideas here, but a permaculture designer could find even more ways to increase yield. Most permacultures would skip some of the concrete in this common area, for instance. There's such an opportunity to integrate more trees and park-like setting. I'd add rain catchment to individual homes for watering gardens. Permaculturists often look to ancient technology to gain ideas for workable solutions that use far less energy or toxic chemicals. Our culture has become dependent on highly toxic materials to function at all, but we do have other options, and they might even make us happier. One thing this firm could have considered is using more natural materials. They could have earth-burned the north side of these homes for climate control, for instance. This is how ancient Danes and many other northern cultures kept their homes warm. This is an earthship designed to operate fully off-grid and to produce food, water, energy, and shelter. The food is in a greenhouse attached to the house, often right by the kitchen or in it. Bananas grow at 7,000 feet in the mountains. Greens and veggies grow fresh year-round. Water is captured from the roof and stored in cisterns. Water from the shower and sinks is recycled through a wetlands cleaning system and used for the garden. The design of these homes is brilliant, mostly earth-burned. The greenhouse allows a lot of temperature control to occur, both heating and cooling. The house is built mostly from landfill materials, waste, like tires, glass, plastic bottles. But as you can see, it's beautiful when completed. Green architects would do well to study this design. It's quite effective on a number of levels. Permaculture designer Joel Ostenkowski lives in the mountains at about 7,000 feet and has created what he calls a climate battery to passively heat his tropical greenhouse packed with exotic fruits like chocolate sapote. It's as good as it sounds. This battery uses the steady temperature of the Earth to maintain both heat and cooling when needed. There are many ways to passively cool homes too. The climate battery can be used to remove humidity and heat from an enclosed space. It's just one way of many. We strive to be site-specific in permaculture and respond both to the needs of the land and the people living on it. Because heating and cooling buildings is a major contributor to pollution in modern society, revitalizing this relatively lost technology could make a big difference. You can use these concepts to retrofit your own home, regardless of what kind of construction it is. We can all reduce our heating and cooling costs and other costs of living using some of these techniques.